All right, how's it going? Okay. I may not have every little clue about what I'm about to say, but I know enough to where I'm thinking if you had a checkered past, present, it may be a good idea for you to walk a straight line and be careful about what you say. Some things will be better off not said at all. Okay, but I do appreciate people's honesty and transparency. But I think that a lot of rappers, okay, they get themselves caught up, okay, because they talk too much about themselves, or okay, they have a reputation of telling on themselves all the time, depending on what questions are asked. I think a lot of these rappers, right, they probably want to, if they get like a preliminary interview, they probably will want to scrub those questions or whatever, okay, that the interviewers want to ask before they ask those questions. Or just maybe just not record that part because people are watching. Okay, you got investigators, you got the local state police. Sorry about the light, y'all. The FBI is listening to these interviews on TV, particularly like on YouTube with all these rappers and all that. Like for example, like Vlad TV and a couple of other these outlets. I'm just using his channel for an example. That being said, I wanted to talk about Boosie Bad Ass. That's what his name is. And I made a video about this guy before that he got caught out there in San Diego in the midst of making a video for two offenses. It's 5 different offenses, but 2 offenses. Illegal possession of a firearm, and illegal possession of a firearm, and he's not registered to that particular like firearm. Okay, those are the 2 most important cases right there. And I say that because they want to get they want to get him. All right, because I think that he was saying some stuff. He saw the light, and I think he was saying some stuff about the industry. A lot of stuff like on interviews with people. Okay, these different outlets about saying things about the industry and a lot of stuff that I think that very important people don't want them to know. In other words, I think that he pissed a lot of important people off because now that they're messing with their money. Okay, when yes he did, and he did admit that he had to check a pass. He served his time and all that other stuff. All right, went on about life. He did fairly well for himself. Okay, and he's still doing fairly well. Okay, but in the end of the day, all these guys are really like businessmen. In the end of the day, all right, trying to figure out even if he's in his 40s now. Okay, trying to figure out the next hustle. So you really, really any of them, you really can't trust them as far as you could throw them. All right, now as to my understanding here, and this what brought something out of me that I spoke on this YNW Melly case, and I think that he went to the case and he went and tried to testify in YN Melly's favor. And it's my understanding he was arrested and he was escorted out of the courtroom, okay, probably was disqualified, okay, as far as his testimony, okay, and they do have a right to do that. And I'm going to tell you one thing, I remember for example, if y'all remember some of these old school cats, remember Rayful Edmonds, probably the biggest drug dealer in D.C., okay, that he got caught on federal charges. He turned out to be an informant, and he got put on the witness protection program, and he ended up going back to jail or whatever for trying to do a robbery in Pennsylvania. Nevertheless, I can remember this when I was probably 18 or 19, where he helped out his lawyer, okay, like bought his wife, or I think either him and his wife or Mercedes, and gave them like money or something. They did a lot of personal favors for the family that didn't have anything to do with the case. and they disqualified his lawyer, and I think he had to get another lawyer or public defender. Okay, but so it's like a conflict of interest, but so many words like aiding and abetting. Okay, uh, contrary to dealing with the case. All right, it happens all the time. All right, but they wanted to get Rayful Evans off the street because he had caused a serious epidemic in D.C. And I think it's a very similar thing with YNW Melly, that they want to get him off the street, and guys like Boosie could be an influence on the jury, okay, the judges and so forth. All right, and Boosie also got a lot of juice. You know, he got cash, but he has a lot of juice though too as well. You know, he gets a lot of praise off a lot of guys and so forth. Okay, he's got a lot of influence in the rap industry, and that's what I think that happened. Okay, but what had happened with him was he was on state charges for having those guns on him with his entourage for making videos in California. Those state charges. The charges were dropped, and then it was picked back up by the federal government. Okay, on Fed charges. So he was arrested, leaving out of the right out of the courthouse on those charges. Okay, so that's what happened with that. But, and I said during, it'd be best, to live, if you had a checkered past, to live your life in a straight line and be very, very condescending about what you say, unless it's something like educational. I understand if you speak on the past and all that stuff, but it's the past. But you want to try to do it in a way without saying something incriminating or end up raising hairs with the police force. You want to try to do it in a way in which you want to give your audience maybe younger guys, something that they can learn from, so they don't make the same mistakes that you have. Okay? I mean, people are not perfect. I understand that. Okay? But in the case with Boosie, with him having those charges where he couldn't possess a firearm, okay, and he had an entourage, he could have had those guys or whatever to squeeze those clips for him as well. Now, I did understand. I said before in the last video I made about it, I did understand where, things with in this day and age with the weapons and all that other stuff. Okay, but you're kind of expected, if you're going through like a probationary period or whatever, particularly if you go through that, but you're really on probation really forever. Okay, to walk a straight line and not to do anything to get yourself, for them to come after you. But I think what they wanted to do actually, and I think that he's going to work himself out of that, is they wanted to disqualify Boosie off that YNW Melly case. Okay, because I think that they do want to give that young man the death penalty. So I hope this all makes sense. All right. If there's some if misinformation I put out, be sure, okay, or feel free to let me know in the comments box. Do your own research about the case. But I hope you understand, okay, what the intent is or whatever. Okay, is to walk a straight line. Okay, and just some things will just be better off left unsaid. All right, let me know what you think about the video. Peace.